Hello, welcome everybody. We are right here in central London, Zimbabweans demonstrating, handing out petitions. My name is Simbarasha Jingo. I'm here. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming here today. Thank you for taking your time. I know in the UK, time is very, very important. I know we've got our jobs. I know back at home rely upon us. So everything is looking towards us. And so I'm gratefully, gratefully appreciative that you've come here today to at least continue the engagement that we have with His Majesty's government here outside 10 Downing Street. Today is the date, is the 24th of October 2024. Today we're doing something unusual. 2 petitions in one go. That shows that the issue of Zimbabwe is still ongoing. It has not been resolved. There are still challenges there. The first petition we've just handed in to 10 Downing Street is with regard to the continuing disappearances, the continuing lack of rule of law in the country. We are seeing things that we did not think we would see, that we see individuals, Zimbabweans, getting on international aeroplanes, trying to fly out of the country, and then agents, operatives of the ZANU-PF government coming into that aeroplane and removing those individuals which have not committed any crimes whatsoever. The charge which they were given on that particular day was spurious charges. The first charge that was leveled on, the person was abroad. Her passport was stamped as that. There's evidence that shows that she was outside the country, she was abroad. And yet, the states continue to charge her and continue to incarcerate her without any formal legitimate charges. The other 2 individuals that were removed from that flight were also not at the scene of where the crime occurred. They have alibis which are rock solid. And that is why this case, this matter, has taken so long to come to the forefront, because everybody knows that this is fabricated. There's no legitimacy in it whatsoever. We should not be surprised to see the ZANU-PF government in Zimbabwe doing such things. It has formed a very, very close working partnership with the last dictator in Europe who resides in Belarus. In Belarus, he did the same thing. But in Belarus, it was worse. He sent jet fighters to bring down an international airliner so that he could apprehend the journalist that was there, that they wanted to put to death. So here it is in Zimbabwe, we are seeing exactly the same thing going on, that we have also fallen under that area of operation. And so the issue of rule of law is something which we will continue to push very hard on. But the main thing behind the rule of law issue is about who resides in state house. You'll note that during my address here, I've not referred to them as the government of Zimbabwe. Good people, they are not the government of Zimbabwe. They are the administration of Zimbabwe. Because in 2023, the people of Zimbabwe did not give them the electoral mandate to form a government. So they took it by force of arms. And so the likes of ourselves don't refer to them as the government of Zimbabwe. We will always say the administration of Zimbabwe. It's a very clear-cut distinction on that. The second petition, which will be duly handed in, is with regard to mortality and infant mortality in Zimbabwe. I need not remind you that at some point in time, historically, our country had an excellent health service. A very strong primary care system was in place. We are now in a situation whereby infant mortality has gone through the roof. Women going into maternity wards are now jeopardizing themselves. It is a dire situation. You cannot have that situation in any country whatsoever, whereby we've gone backwards instead of going forward. We are looking at infant mortality going through the roof, and yet we are seeing the so-called ZANU-PF administration buying 4x4, buying Porsche cars, buying Lamborghinis, Ferraris, having houses that are 20 bedrooms strong. Totally ridiculous. And so we are here today to try and convince His Majesty's government through the Prime Minister's office here in 10 Downing Street to change its mindset when it comes to Zimbabwe, to take a hard tone against the Zimbabwean administration, to say that the rule of law in Zimbabwe has not been maintained and continues to flounder and is not meeting up to the international standard. But we're also here to remind the Prime Minister of the day here in 10 Downing Street that the election in Zimbabwe was already found and deemed to be flawed. It was flawed throughout. And so the SADC community, the 10 or 11 countries in the SADC region, all said that election should be done again. We are still waiting for the international arena to apply pressure to the Zimbabwean administration for that election. It is inconceivable that we will proceed to the next election in 2028 without the diaspora votes. Totally inconceivable. The Zimbabwean diaspora now numbers over 8 million. The population of Zimbabwe is 14 million. Automatically, you see an election that excludes those Zimbabweans in the international arena is a fallacy. It has no meaning, it has no reference, and cannot really legitimately be called an election. And so the Zimbabwean diaspora must be given their voice when it comes to 2028. And we would like the UK Prime Minister to remind those leaders of SADC region, those 12 countries in the SADC region, to apply the rule of law in Zimbabwe, so that at least the country can stand up and begin functioning. Right now, the judiciary has been compromised. The law enforcement agents, ZRP, police have been compromised. All structures of the government have been compromised to the disadvantage of ordinary Zimbabweans up and down that country. We are mindful that there are bigger issues at stake internationally. We are looking at the conflict in the Holy Land. There in the Holy Land, we see the children of Abraham fighting. The children of Abraham fighting. Children of Abraham fighting. Any family fight is a terrible thing. There are no winners, there are no losers. We are all, it's a terrible situation. We look in Europe and we find Ukraine. The war is still rumbling on. And so when we bring the Zimbabwean issue to the foreground, we are cognizant, we are aware that there are other issues around the world that are bubbling under. But the Zimbabwean issue fits into those issues. Because, as we said just now, what Belarus does is now affecting Zimbabwe. So you can see the relationship, that even though something is happening in Europe, in Belarus, suddenly the Zimbabwean administration is following on the footsteps of the last dictator in Europe, in Belarus. And so, in closing, I would say let's continue persuading and engaging the UK government and engaging all other governments. Because at the end of the day, if Zimbabwe gets its act right, we all benefit. We all benefit. And we haven't forgotten that here in the United Kingdom, we have over 10 to 20,000 health workers that come from Zimbabwe. When we are looking at the NHS, when we are looking at the care system within the home, we are looking at all of those individuals who emanate from Zimbabwe and have now come to the United Kingdom and are working in the care sector. So we are mindful of that, to say they're doing it to try and support their people back home. But good people, thank you very much for coming today. Let us continue. Let us continue.
Yes. Can you tell us why you're here, buddy? Yeah, we're here to just drop a petition. We just finished dropping our petition. You know, everyone is saying what is going on back home in Zimbabwe. We are tired of this restless government. We are tired of ZANU-PF. This is the right time for ZANU-PF to go. We are tired. Taneta. Hopefully this petition it will deliver the leadership of the court. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My name is Tawanda Atangambiri.
Thank you, Tawanda. Thank you for your time.
Were in prison, were incarcerated, and yeah, just relating to the first petition, which we calling the international community to stand with us. And we also seen the instability which has taken place in the SADC region, which Nanga is trying to cause. And we've seen his influence in the elections in Mozambique. And we also seeing his influence in Botswana, which also we've seen like a number of people have died in Mozambique at the moment because of his interference, because there is a dispute. So the same thing that is taking place in Zimbabwe must start to move to the SADC region. So we are saying respect the constitution as well, and respect human rights, and you must stop interfering in other countries' affairs, especially political affairs. Thank you. Another one? Yes. Good afternoon. We are here at number 10 Downing Street. And my name is Jackson Chipizo. We are presenting our petitions, and the first one is for injustice in our country, Zimbabwe. And the second one is for maternal issues. And we are highlighting this because in our country, there's a lot of looting there. And we look and see that money which is being looted is from the national funds, which is the taxpayers' money. And we just
maybe go further to see why. And we understand there's in the government, that is, of ZANU-PF, which its leader is E.D. Mnangagwa, is head on corruption, nepotism, bribery, patronage, and brutality. And at the end of this, it makes us conclude that Zimbabwe is under siege of these leaders. And the situation in Zimbabwe's national hospitals is in dire and urgently needs action to address these critical issues. And we can easily conclude that our judiciary is captured. And the police as well. Because what the police is doing is arresting to investigate instead of doing the opposite, which is to investigate first, then you arrest somebody. But you look at how they are doing their operations, they only do that to the activists and human rights defenders and the opposition, which is linked to Nelson Chamisa, and we look at our Senator Jameson Timber. That way, we conclude it's biased and captured. And in conclusion, we say, no president forever. That is the reality. Thank
Yeah, the situation in Zimbabwe is just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And truly, we are really tired of this banana government. This is the right time, Mr. President, to step down. We are tired of you. Even now, the country is upside down. We don't want anything to do with the ZANU-PF. This is the right time. Please, Mr. Say, we are begging you to just leave. ZANU-PF, we have to go. Retired, retired. Free Jason Timber, free Avondo people, those who are arrested for no reason. Taneta. Thank you.
We're here at number 10 demonstrators on the 24th of October 2024.
we are here standing with the people of Zimbabwe. We are fighting for our freedom. We are fighting for free and fair elections in Zimbabwe. We are fighting for democracy. We are fighting for a peaceful Zimbabwe. We are fighting for an anti-corrupt government. We are fighting for a substantial health system in Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF must go. Thank you.
I'm quite worried about the situation back home in Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF must go. We are tired. We are now tired. People are suffering there, no proper roads. Hospitals are now shutting down. Please go. Go now. We are tired. We are tired. Please go. Go. We are tired of you. We are tired of you. You shit. Go. Please go away. Away.
Chief Duane, it was nice to hear your speech. It was very touching for many of our listeners out there, for many of the local Zimbabweans over here. Your word was heard. The world knows exactly what you meant. Because there's need for change in Zimbabwe.
Yes, indeed.
There's need to have justice in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
So we are all here gathered. We can see the ladies have gone into the petition. Anything else you want to add on top of what you've said earlier?
Just that really we have to make sure that the people's voice is heard. We may talk about many issues, but at the end of the day, all these issues emanate from the election that was stolen in 2023. If we had had a proper transition into the people's choice, was the people chose a different government. They did not choose the current administration. So I'll be saying to the people here in the diaspora that our work is cut out for us. We need to get up and do a lot more work so that the message gets home in SADC. So that SADC as a group, as a regional body under the African Union, understands that what is going on in Zimbabwe is not what the people of Zimbabwe voted for. Everything has failed. Roads, schools, education, everything is failing daily. And even the ZIG, which they brought in, and we said they must not bring it in because it would fail, is now also failing. How many times are we going to continue going round and round and round these issues until the people's voice is heard? Until the people's voice is heard.
Thank you. Thank you very much. As we can all hear what Chief Duane was saying, there's need for freedom of expression in Zimbabwe, need to look at the reform of justice. And Zimbabweans came all over the place, as far as from Scotland, as far as different postcodes, all here, gathered here with one voice, saying enough is enough. So whether from the cadres of Zimbabwe, my name is Simajiko. Okay, what's your name? Can you please tell us where you're here?
I'm Sandra Chidemo. I'm not happy with the SADC. How could they choose Mnangagwa to be the leader when he's oppressing his own people like that? And now he's now affecting everyone in the SADC. Please, down with him. Make sure he leaves. The SADC people are not serious. The leaders in the SADC countries around, they are not serious. They have no rule of law themselves as well to include Mnangagwa in such a powerful position. And yet he's killing his people. Down with him. We are tired. We want to be able to vote when we are outside of Zimbabwe. This is rotten that people are not allowed to vote.
Okay, thank you very much. As you heard, she's asking for diaspora vote, asking for people to be allowed to vote from wherever they are. As we go, see a lot of Zimbabweans. Welcome.
Thank you.
Got anything to say for the community to hear?
Yeah, so we have seen the recent developments, like which ZANU-PF is trying to push for the 2030 mantra. We are saying that mustn't work because Zimbabwe must return back to its constitution. And we want Mnangagwa and his government to respect the Zimbabwean constitution and we are saying that there must be no amendment to the constitution. And we are saying that all the prisoners like Jameson Timber, the Avondale 70, I think it's now less, but we are saying they must be released. Amos Shibaya, just to name a few. And we are saying also respect the rule of law, stop torturing human rights activists. You must stop arbitrary arrests, and you've seen like charges, which are being placed on activists like Namatai, Robson, and we are saying that needs to be stopped. So we have handed 2 petitions today, which is something big, and we are asking the international community to join us. Same, the way Mnangagwa the run to whatever, whether it's Russia, China. And so we also need people to help us, the ordinary Zimbabweans that are suffering every day under the iron rule of Mnangagwa. So we thank you. It's been a good day so far. Good numbers came through, and we are seeing numbers are increasing every time. People are interested to hear about our fight for democracy. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Basil. Yeah, on behalf of Zima, we are broadcasting this live in central London. Lovely weather today. We have the ladies going to hand over the petition. As you can see, the resilience of Zimbabweans, even if there's few men marching, our message will be heard. It doesn't need to have 1,000 people. A few individuals can bring some change. That's like Chinwe said. It was a small group, but they got an impact. Zimbabweans are here, numbers, the same sentiments.
Hello, hello, Zimbabweans. Yeah, we are here to deliver a petition because we have been in a crisis for a very long time, and women have been crying silent. They've been crying silently. They've not been heard for a very long time. So the petition we are delivering today is about the maternal death in Zimbabwe. This is a crisis that we are appealing to the international world to intervene and put pressure in our government, because mothers are dying during childbirth. Say a pregnant woman is about to give birth, to deliver a life into this world. They will be trapped. They are trapped. Why? Because there are no ambulances to take these women to hospitals so that they can go to facilities where they can deliver their babies without any problems. So they will be like in their houses, crying without finding any help. Say if a neighbor chooses to give them help and take them to hospital, roadblocks will be lining all the way. There will be roadblocks all the way to the hospital. So they won't be there on time. So many mothers are dying, and many children are dying because they are not getting the help that they should be getting. It's because of our government. ZANU-PF must go, because ZANU-PF has failed us dismally. ZANU-PF has failed women dismally. Imagine a child left without a mother from the day they are born. It's heart-wrenching. We need to change this government. We need a new government, people of Zimbabwe. So we have brought our petition here to appeal to the international world, to the Prime Minister of this country, to say, please help us put pressure to this government. Help us put pressure to Mnangagwa, because he has got blood in his hands. He has killed many people. He has killed many people. He killed during the war. He's still killing. We are suffering, the people of Zimbabwe. That's why we brought our petition here. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. As we can see, Zimbabweans expressing fully how they feel about the situation in the country.
May you listen to our petition and help us, the people, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and all your cabinet. May you help us. We are suffering. All womankind are suffering. The hospitals are not with equipment. There is no equipment in hospitals. When people go there to give birth, when people are ill, no one is got equipment. Unless if you are one of them and you've got lots of money which you have stolen, you can go to private institutions to have your child there. Otherwise, if you are an ordinary person like all the other people like me, you are not, you are down, you are dead. You are not allowed to say, if you say they come in the night and they take you and you are gone, you'll never be seen again. It's rubbish.
The mass is speaking. Thank you very much for your time. The Cadets of Zimai, just broadcasting live from London, just to show you how Zimbabweans feel, that people are not afraid anymore. People are looking for freedom of expression, maternal issues that are going on. Till again, she will meet again. Thank you for your time.